This is the Mercedes-Benz EQA. Now this is an EV, and of course it's very new to South Africa. It's been quite a unique experience for me. I'm very much used to petrol and diesel, and in South Africa we have the load shedding challenge, so yeah, it took a full fast recharge, I would say, for me to get really used to this vehicle. So this car is built off or built on the GLA design, of course. That's why it looks quite familiar. This is the smallest spec EQ of the EQ range here in South Africa. So you can charge your cars on all over different stations, but most of the time it is going to be your slow chargers. You need to look for your DC chargers, your fast chargers, which is mostly at dealerships, and not all around your cities, at least. That's for Cape Town specifically. This car has a 140 kilowatt output with around 375 newton meters of torque, so it is definitely quite nippy, and of course it's delivering that solid drive that a Mercedes-Benz would. The battery capacity is around 66.5 kilowatts under the hood, and yeah, as I mentioned, you can't open the bonnet of this vehicle. You actually have to go to a Mercedes-Benz dealership, and they warn you not to attempt trying to open the vehicle, because yeah, it's just not possible. And if you got this far, don't forget to like, subscribe and follow me on my YouTube channel as well as my social media handles at @meeting_focus. Anyway, let's carry on and watch what I have to say about this car. Now, looking at the battery or fuel consumption, it's definitely something new to me. You get around 490 kilometers on a full charge. That can take you around 43 minutes. I charged for the longest, I would say around 13 minutes, and it gave me a 98, basically 300 kilometers worth of charge, which is absolutely amazing. That was at the fast charger. I really am a big fan that you can get so many kilometers on just time, because you get these cards with your EQ model, right? It's supplied by Grid Cars. And then you can actually just kind of look, Google your charging stations, and then you can also look further. You can actually go out and there's people looking at us film, you know, I don't know why they do that. Anyway, moving over, as you can see here on the screen, you've got your EQ option, and on the EQ option you can Google, or you can search basically built in on the navigation system for your standard power stations. It's not going to tell you exactly which power station is a fast charger, but it's definitely a very nice to have and quite a nifty feature if you're running out of data. But I guess if you're driving this car, data is not your biggest problem. This car is priced at 1.19 million rand, so 1.2 million rand in 2024 at least. This is the year I'm testing it. This is a 2023 model, and yeah, that's about the pricing and the power of the vehicle. Okay, looking at the exterior and the design of the vehicle, of course this is a beautiful car. If you love the GLA, you're gonna love this, the EQA, right? This is the EQA 250. Now, so as I mentioned, this car is built on the GLA design on the exterior, although you won't see a grille. The reason you don't find this is, of course, it's not a petrol engine vehicle or motor, so you are not going to need the cooling system or that air vents, but you are just going to have that plastic or glossy finish in the front by the badge, and then of course a badge on the bonnet, so you still have your signature kind of Mercedes branding. However, the branding goes for the EQA lineup. There's badges all over the vehicle, absolutely stunning, and gives the car, of course, this nice blue aesthetic edge. Also on the rims, or the 18-inch alloy wheels, that of course I really fancy. What I really like about it, of course, is this chrome finishing and styling, and complements as well the blue accents that is on this vehicle. On the front of the vehicle, you also get this new your high beam LED lights, and of course this mono light, this single bar, which is of course really stands out on this vehicle. And you also have that same finish complementing and just synchronizing all the way to the back. You've got that as well on the boot. The boot of course is powered electrically, and what's great about that is that you also can access it or both open and close it from the remote, which of course is always very nice. The boot capacity, you're looking at 340 liters of boot capacity, which is of course quite spacious. And I love also how, you know, some cars, the boot capacity is not very level equal. Sometimes it's deep, sometimes it's too high, sometimes it's a bit too shallow, and I think it's well rounded. It's really good boot space, and just the way the dimension is, it's very good. It can fit in a pram, it can fit in a few tog bags, or yeah, you're not going to have a problem with boot space. Also, you've got your roof rails, which is of course a nice added finish to this vehicle, and yeah, I'm definitely a fan of the design. This car you will see on the road in the silver finish, but this is the matte grey kind of finish, which really gives it a bionic kind of Android look, and I am a huge fan of the color. Heading on into the interior, since we know this car is a looker, so small different changes is that you've got this rose gold finish within the car. You still have your ambient lighting for this vehicle, but I think the rose finishes, gold finishes, is definitely a nice touch or addition to the driver's cabin. You've got the full driver cluster here in the front, so it's the dual screens, and yeah, if you've seen the newer Mercedes-Benz, it won't be very foreign to you. Beautiful leather steering wheel and the dual finish on the leather interior. As you can see, you've got the leather interior, and then you've got the canvas kind of also rose gold fabric, which complements the the climate control or the air vents, right? Nothing new here with Mercedes. If you are familiar, you're still going to get your stunning finishes. You've got your automatic, your lane assist, your automatic climate control. There's no wireless charger in this car. I don't mind, because I don't want the battery sucked out of the life sucked out of my battery. Does that sound right? Anyway, moving on, you've got your 4 settings if you'd like to. You've got modes for your seat adjustments, which is of course for both passenger and the driver's seat. Of course, that's a very nice finish. Talking about the battery, this is an EV, so what we have to talk about is the consumption, the driving. Driving is absolutely stunning. It's silent, it's smooth. There's no switch between, of course, your hybrid models, which is your engine and your battery. Very smooth, very quiet. The driver's cluster, however, does switch. You do have to on your for the driver's screens, you're going to get your battery gauge, and then you also have your power gauge. Now the power gauge is going to indicate whether you are pushing the vehicle to its capacity, how you are draining the battery, and you basically need to gauge this and make sure that you manage this accordingly. Yeah, EQA in South Africa is available on 2 models, right? So you've got the EQA, the standard, and the AMG, of course, with all of your AMG kit, which is going to be absolutely stunning. So obviously this is an EV, and now your car runs out of juice or battery power. As you saw earlier in the footage, I was at the mall, and then there is a charger included in your boot, and then of course you'll use that charging cable to connect between the public power supply and in your vehicle. But here we are currently at Audi Claremont. So the company Rubicon, actually, they provide the fast chargers around the city that you're in. In Cape Town you get 2 fast charging points, specifically Century City. There is a big Audi dealership there, and then here in Claremont as well, Rubicon installed the one for the e-tron, of course. And luckily, what's very nice, it's like a USB Type-C. Now that's universal. The EQA also makes use of the same charging ports or inputs. And of course, if you are at a dealership point, then what's really nice is that you don't need to unplug your or connect your own charging cables, because they've already got the plug sorted for you. So simply go over here. I've got my card, which I presume is my credits on here, and I just have to tap in here. I know that in European countries you actually can tap your debit card there, so that's how it goes. For it will beep, and now I need to take out the charging point or the charging cable. I'm gonna open up my car. It's not my car, but yeah, as you can see, I'm wearing the shades just to set that tone, you know, because like I'm cool in this car. Now what's very important is that you need to know that with the fast charger you have additional power points or additional inputs, so you'll actually make sure that you open the bottom one as well. Usually it's just the top one, which is the bigger area. Yeah, so looks like a gun or something. Anyway, let's do this. And then you wait for it to turn green, as I showed you in the video. Once it's green, your car is charging, and apparently this is the first time I'm using a fast charger. As I mentioned, now I used one in the public space, and the fast charger provides you with 15 minutes charge and gives you around 250 kilometers, which is of course excellent. And yeah, goodbye to petrol prices in South Africa.